let's talk about fate. You always hear people saying, why me, when bad things happen to them? But people have this idea that things have to be good and bad. They make judgments on everything. From my journal. Why must things be bad? They aren't. We label them so. Because truthfully, there is no good and no bad. There is only the true nature of a thing. This is a water bottle, okay? This, inside of it, is blueberry pomegranate drink. It's not good or it's not bad. You know what it is? It's blueberry pomegranate drink. That's all it is. So, a flower is not good and a gun is not bad. A flower is a flower and a gun is a gun. And when we view things that in this way, we realize that the reason why we worry is this. We are attached to our belief of what our life is. And when things that we ascertain to be bad occur, it threatens our preconceived notion of our life. We are so attached to objects, tangible and intangible. If I lost my water bottle, which I actually lose water bottles a lot, and it makes me really worried. I don't even know why. I just get in such a weird state over it. Right? I'm obviously going to be upset because I'm attached to this water bottle. I own it. I spend money on it. Right? That makes me worried if I lost it then. In that same regard, we act the same about our life. I'm attached to who I am. And if I were to lose part of that or have to change part of that, that's a big source of, worry and problems for a lot of people. I don't know if y'all saw the new Inside Out movie, but it's kind of similar to that, where they get puberty, right? Actually, I talk about puberty in this journal, but it's really similar to that. I said in this journal, however, our life is not in such a state that remains unchanging. As a young boy, we learn about puberty. And this change is labeled as bad to some people because it's unstoppable and it's forced and you don't want to go through it. I didn't want to go through puberty. I didn't choose to go through puberty. It just happened, right? So when I was a kid, I actually did not like that I was changing. I was like, why am I changing like this so much? I labeled it as bad. I only saw negatives in it. I had committed myself to labeling it as bad because I was being attacked. My identity was being attacked, and I'm attached to that identity. But was puberty bad? No. I changed, but obviously since the day I was born, I was gonna get puberty, or go through puberty. And so that change is not actually a problem. I labeled it as one. I created my own problems because I labeled something as bad and created a problem. But truly, I don't have a problem. If I lost my water bottle, it's not a problem, is it? You have to think, what's the price of your happiness? This is a $20 bottle, right? Is the price of my happiness fucking $20? Is it that dirt cheap that $20 can mess my day up? But anyways. So I'm writing this journal because I'm going through some shit right now. And I'm trying to, rationalize everything that's going on. So I said, I'm doing the same thing I did when I was starting to go through puberty now. Everything is in my mind about what could happen is bad. But I don't need to see it that way. The worry is never justified. Because what has made itself abundantly more clear, although I'm still not able to perfectly reason my way through situations with this method, but this has made itself clear to me. All change and all repercussion, all consequence, it is not really change nor repercussion or consequence. It is just my life, and it's how my life was always going to be, and whatever happens, it was always going to happen. If I was fated to go through puberty since the day I was born, is it really a change to my life when my life, if you look zoomed out, right, the whole path of my life, I always had to make that stop. I was always going to go there. It's as if I was going on a road trip across the US and I knew I had to take a certain highway. And when I got to that highway, I started to worry about traffic on it and worrying about having to go on that highway. even though I knew from the start that I always had to be on that highway in the first place. I always had to take that journey or that part of my journey. It was always there in my entire life. And so it's the same way with fate. I was always going to do this. I was always going to make this video. I was always going to go through puberty. I was always going to have that worry about that event that was causing me so much stress and so much anxiety. And I don't need to have that. I didn't need to have that because it wasn't real change. It wasn't I didn't need my identity to be changed because that is me. You know, I'm not the same person. I'm not the solid state of a being. I'm always changing. You know, every day we're changing. So when you just get over yourself and stop being so rooted and thinking like that you just want to resist all this change, you know, like life is this big fucking river, man. And you are a fucking little twig stuck in the mud at the bottom of this river. And it is rushing past you so hard and so fast. And you're trying to stay in the mud. It's never going to work. You're going to cause yourself so much stress. Even the twig might even break in half trying to resist change. But if you just go down the river, you're the same fucking stick. You're just a couple of miles down the river. Man. Sorry, I'm a little passionate about this. Anyways. It isn't really change, nor repercussion, nor consequence. It's my life. It's how my life was always going to be. Whatever happens was always going to happen, and fate dealt me my hand the moment I was born. This isn't to say that I shouldn't learn from mistakes, however, and that I shouldn't act differently because of lessons that I've learned. It's just that whatever has happened or is going to happen is set in stone, so worrying about it makes no sense. And fate knows if I'm going to learn or not. It may take some time making that same mistake over and over again, but the wisdom will come. In this way, fate is both the nurturing mother and the toughening father. It brings you trials and tribulations that are going to hurt you, but it knows that it'll help you. It'll make you grow. It'll make you stronger. So even now, faced with this possibility of a life-altering consequence, a life-altering is how I have it wrote with quotes around it, I greet it with newfound insight. You are not life-altering. You were always my life. I'm speaking to the problem. This moment, I was destined for it. And I know that the nurturing spirit of fate is trying to extend to me its lesson, hoping or maybe even knowing that I will learn. And whatever the future may bring, I understand it now. It was always my fate to experience, to live through it, and to learn from it. And for that realization, and for fate allowing me these situations to learn from, I am grateful. That's what I wrote. And that got me through it. Understanding that whatever was going to happen, this was always just going to happen. And I could sit here and I can worry about it, or, you know, I can just accept it. I'm not trying to hold on to the mud. I'm a stick floating down the river. Because I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to hurt myself more trying to hold on. Trying to hold on to who I once was. That's just not how life works, man. There's a quote from Marcus Aurelius that I'm going to tell you before I end this video. I can't say it word for word, but it goes essentially like this. You don't need to worry about what's going to happen in the future because you're going to be equipped with the same capabilities you have today to handle it. So when the time comes, you're going to handle it the best you can as if it was going to happen today. And that's all you can do. To me, and what he meant too, that instrument is the mind. The instrument to fight fate and to work around your problems. It is your mind. You know, I've sharpened my mind and I'm able to rationalize situations, and using that, I'm just going to walk forward in life, and you know, whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and I'm going to be here for the ride, and eventually I'm going to die. And guess what? it's just what it's gonna be. It's always gonna be like that at the end of the day. So whatever I do, it'll make a difference, you know. So there's no point worrying about it. But anyways, that's how I got through my little trouble. I'm very worried. I was worried sick, bro. I mean, I like that the sleep where you're like tossing and turning and you're like, oh my god, like you're sweating. It's in your fucking dreams, man. It was that bad. I was messed up. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next video.